We believe in Romans 8:28, God will work all things for good for those who love him. But this is the idea, that every event in this world ripples forward to trillions of other events. Unless you are the all-knowing being and have eternal perspective, how do you know that these tragedies that are objectively evil will not work together for good in the end? Perhaps there are many good things that will come out of tragedies in individual lives that we'll never hear about. In fact, good results may even come from generations from now, unbeknownst to those who will never experience them. Maybe a baby getting cancer today, which is awful and just unspeakable, sends forth a trillion ripples that is partially responsible for bringing forth a great evangelist 500 years from now who saves millions of people. Only God can track all those ripples, and only God can weave all those things for good. Keep watching.
And so, is there any part of the Bible you think is true?
Well,
no, it's
true.
An important question.
Well,
meaning, like when they were documenting King David, like
yes.
Was King David a real figure?
There are shards of it that are, I'm sure.
So Jesus was a real person.
Well, that we don't know. That is not a definitive.
Okay,
it really is not, and I'll tell you why. And I'm sure you know this. The Gospels are written from
70 AD to 120 AD.
Correct.
Yes.
So they're
about 30 to 40 years after Jesus' life.
No, they're from 40 to 70 years after Jesus' life.
Yeah,
the earliest one is Mark, and that's the one with 70 AD. It's the destruction of the temple. That's why it's the bleakest one. It's the one that ends with, Father, why have thou forsaken me? Okay, so we see that history does involve itself in what's going on. You kind of have to read between the lines. But here's the question I've asked before here. How come the Gospels, we know everything in the New Testament is either the Gospels or St. Paul.
Or the book of Acts, which is written by Luke. Yeah.
Right, okay.
The book of Acts is the best evidence that Jesus is real. But
okay.
Go ahead, yeah.
But Paul lives in the 50s. He's much closer to Jesus' time.
Correct. Yes.
And he knows much less about Jesus. He really doesn't even imagine him as a figure that lived on earth. He's more like a God from heaven.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, that's in St. Paul.
No, he talks about the literal ministry of Christ.
He certainly doesn't. Okay, you'd have to show me that, because my recollection, and this is from a course